Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about Dasher app locked and unlocked on Doordash. So recently we've seen a few different posts on many different levels of social media, whether it be Facebook, Reddit, etc., of people claiming that their accounts have been locked out. And some have led to some questions that haven't really been answered. And of course, we know Doordash is vague as hell. So with that said, we are talking about everything you must know about Dasher account locks, how some people have been getting their accounts unlocked, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain and is never intended to be legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. Also, I do want to be clear that everything that we're going to be going over today is very market dependent, and what applies to me and my market may not apply to you. So with that said, let's get started. Why was my account locked? Your account may be locked if unusual or suspicious activity is detected. Reasons your account was locked could be due to one or more of the following: contract violations, extreme lateness, never delivered, incorrectly reporting a store closed, issues with background check, or other reasons. And when they say other reasons, they actually have a link that goes straight to their DoorDash service provider platform access policy, which is basically the equivalent of, we don't really want to tell you the reason because then we would be liable for that. First and foremost, I made many videos talking about contract violations of all kinds, being extreme lateness, order never arrived, and wrong order delivered violations, all three of which I will leave in the description. Feel free to check it out. Incorrect store closings have been a huge reason for a lot of wrongful deactivations and even pay withheld. Not because they actually claim that the store was closed when it was opened, but in a lot of cases that wasn't accurate at all because it was late at night and people just weren't there. Examples of this would be Bud Soda or Uber Lyft Phoenix. They are prime examples of this. Bud Soda, wrongfully deactivated, had to fight for months, had to fight for the $2,000 he made that week that DoorDash stole from him. He had to fight relentlessly for that. Same with Uber Lyft Phoenix, not only permanently losing access to their account, but his $1,700 check that he was supposed to make that week. Meanwhile, there is no reason that they should be deactivated. So am I glad that they are just locking accounts temporarily so they can actually investigate as opposed to just wrongfully deactivating them outright? I mean, if they're actually investigating, sure, I guess. However, in most cases, they will weigh whether or not you're an asset or a liability on whether or not they actually want to help you as a gig worker.
Oh, you're one of those drivers that are actually really intelligent and take orders that actually are profitable for you and nothing else? Deactivated.
Either way, I wouldn't F around and find out if that's what they're gonna do. In terms of background checks, if you have a record of criminal history or bad driving, all bets are off, but I've seen people skate by with borderline sick crap, and some people get deactivated for a ticket they got 20 years ago. And in terms of other reasons, they just shove a policy in front of your face and say, figure it out, dum-dum. But here are some other reasons that I have found that they will lock you out for. Using the red card and fraud being found. Dirty multi-apping, earned by time abuse, account renting, referral bonus fraud. Now, a lot of these things seem like you either are just doing your work or using the systems that they provide to you and the opportunities they provide to you, which why shouldn't you use something that they are offering or expecting you to use, right? But that could lead to account locking, which I guess is better than deactivation. Again, if it doesn't lead to that. My account is locked. What should I do? Your account has been locked due to unusual or suspicious activity. We are conducting a review for security purposes. Please allow up to 24 hours to hear from our team. Please note that the support team will not be able to bypass this review period, and you will not be able to do any of the following while the review is in progress. Dashers cannot dash. Dashers cannot cash out their earnings nor change their payout details. Dashers cannot start or reply to chat with customers or merchants. Okay, first off, in terms of not not being able to contact support. I found a story on the internet that said that they contacted support specifically because they got locked out of their account during a delivery. And they were able to get the order unassigned, but that didn't unlock their account. So keep that in mind. If you ever get locked out during a delivery, they can at least unassign the order from you. The first 2 points I kind of understand, because if you cannot access the app, you cannot do the things that you would require the app to do specifically. That's just logic 101. But think about this for a hot second. They said you cannot start or reply to chat with customers or merchants. Why mention something that should go without saying? Are they saying that they're planning on locking people out in the middle of their orders? And let's say they also take full advantage of that 24-hour turnaround, assuming that it's only 24 hours and they're not just gonna put you on the back burner and nothing's gonna happen. Typical Doordash BS. Now we have the exact same issue that got your account locked in the first place. You got a contract violation with an order that you cannot make a move on because your account is locked, which led to extreme lateness. It led to order never arrived. It led to bad ratings. That would in turn cause a wrongful deactivation because they engineered the second time in which that would cause the account locking. What are we supposed to do? Pray that Doordash support does their job in a timely fashion? Like literally during that Reddit story I just told you about, support finally answers after half an hour on hold. So what? We're supposed to waste half an hour of our day fighting for Dasher support to do their job the first time. Pray that they're actually gonna do it. We're not just calling over and over again expecting a different result, because people are useless that way, and hoping that we don't get deactivated for stupid reasons. Like, what the hell is going on? How will I be notified of the outcome of the security review? You will receive a notification through the Dasher app advising the outcome with instructions on how to review full details. If necessary, you will be able to provide additional information for further review at that time. I also looked online and some people have been saying some accounts get locked and unlocked relatively quickly. So I guess there is a level of legitimacy there. I received a message that my account was deactivated after completing the security review. Can I appeal this decision? Yes. And they send a link about how to appeal deactivation, and I will leave a video in the description talking about deactivations and reactivations on the subject. Feel free to check that out. What do I do if I do not hear back from the team after 24 hours? If you do not hear back from the team in 24 hours, please contact Doordash support for assistance. Which of course is hit or miss whether or not they do their job, so make sure you are well diversified in your gig portfolio to make sure it doesn't impact you economically speaking. But didn't they just say in a question earlier stating that support can't help you? So which is it? The support team can help you or they can help you? Pick one. Oh, you just don't want people calling you if the account gets locked because you're lying, because you always have lied, because you always will lie. That's what I thought. Trash will always be trash, and that is Doordash. Now, I do have a couple side notes that I would like to go over on this subject. 1099 employee manipulation. Zach Drives Fast has made a video about this and brought up the point that this feels like employee manipulation rather than just being an independent contractor. And while on some sides I see the point that he's trying to make, I do want to be fair and bring up another perspective. From their perspective, this is a security review. It can be seen less as employee manipulation rather than protecting themselves and the platform itself from fraudulent activity. Whether you're actually legitimately guilty of these things or not, they are checking the validity of the actions in the first place, which is why the account is locked and not straight deactivated as it would normally be once upon a time. Now, does that mean that this argument of them wanting to control every aspect on the platform is legitimate? I mean, it's kind of overstepping a bit. I would prefer the orders just end up in review instead and just let them know what you're doing and hey, the way you did this was a little shady. Can you be a little bit more clean on the subject? Fine. But to lock them out entirely? Yikes. I will say this though, if you're at a W-2 job and you're locked out, you're just straight fired. That's not being reviewed. You're just fired. You're laid off. You're gone. So that argument can also be made on the subject. a fix to wrongful deactivations? To be honest, being locked out for a short period of time is better than just straight deactivation. That's just a fact. I've seen too many instances where these exact things that people get their accounts locked out of actually caused a wrongful deactivation. Because they used the red card, they referred a friend, and they lost their account entirely. So that would seem like a fix. But there is also the MO of Doordash that we have not taken into account here. The MO of Doordash is they will find some feature that is good or at least better than it was and either ruin it or weaponize it in their favor and cause wrongful deactivations to good drivers. If I were to guess on how they would do that, I would say that someone is going to be locked out and get perpetually ghosted about it. And when they try to press support a little bit harder about it,
you know what? For that attitude, we did find fraud. So therefore, you're deactivated.
or they'll just straight lock you out and claim that this was the fix to the argument that was being made that deactivations are an AI-driven issue. And the system was AI-driven, so that way they could say,
see, a person looked at the issue here, not AI, and they did find, something happened, and you should definitely be deactivated for it.
and after months of fighting, like Bud Soda, you may get your account back or never be seen again. That's just the piss poor integrity and character that is Doordash Incorporated. Diversifying and exit strategies. I said this before, and I'll say it again, and I will keep preaching this on the rooftops. One of the best ways to combat issues similar to this is the same way I say in almost every video. Diversify your gig portfolio. Never be too dependent on any one gig or gig app. Not one niche and not one industry. Have an exit strategy, because the gig economy is an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal, not the goal. Save your money. Invest your money. Secure your financial future, because no one is looking out better for you and your financial and physical safety better than you will. So make sure that you're doing what you can to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time in the safest possible way, because heaven forbid something like this happens to you. You are fully informed and prepared for the BS that is Doordash. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.